Hi, in this video, we're going to spend a few moments working with some lovely desk stretches that you can do at the office or from home or wherever you choose to work. So it's so important to take a break, and a lot of times, especially from sitting for extended periods of time, we can experience a lot of tightness in our hips and our legs and calves and hamstrings. So let's take a few nice relaxing moments to go ahead and give that a bit of a stretch. So if you can take a break for a few minutes, I invite you to maybe shut down your laptop or put it aside for a minute, and we'll go ahead and get started, or maybe put on a little relaxing music. That always helps, I feel like. All right, so this focus is more on the lower body. So what I like to do, and I'm just going to scooch away from my desk area for a moment, is start with just a little bit of foot and ankle articulation. Depending on where you work, a lot of times air conditioning can be set very high. It can create a lot of soreness and tension in the body. So let's just take a moment to maybe roll the ankles, point and flex the feet, just giving that low body a little bit of attention. So I like to point and flex, maybe circle those ankles, maybe even take just a moment to gently bend and straighten the knee, working a little bit with that joint synovial fluid, just warming things up a bit, especially if you feel a little chilly. Let's go ahead and try this on the other side. You can point and flex, just doing what you need to do to wake up your legs. And then we'll just circle the ankles, maybe try one way, try the other. You might even get a few pops and bend and straighten those knees. Just working a little bit through that range of motion. Good. Before we start to make our way up to standing, using our desk or table and our chair to help really warm up our legs, I'd like to do a couple other stretches. We're going to do one now that is called a seated pigeon. And so what we're going to do with this is, from our chair, you're going to take one foot, sit up nice and tall in your chair, and then you can rest that ankle over that other knee. Now, if this is too much for you, sometimes people's hips are very tight, you can cross down at the ankle. That is completely fine. Just do what you're comfortable with. So finding your position, you're going to sit up nice and tall, always remembering to breathe, and then we'll just gently start to fold the body forward to your comfort level. Again, always feel free to move or shift if you feel a tight spot as you stretch. Good. And hold your stretches for a minimum of 6 to 7 seconds. Just giving yourself a little time to unwind. All right, when you are ready, you can switch sides. Crossing at the ankle, crossing at the knee, and gently folding forward. Good. Just going where you're comfortable. Awesome. Just taking a few moments to decompress. Great. So we'll go ahead and start to make our way up. Good. No tension. So we're going to do a next segment to just really start to wake up our legs and quadriceps. And anyone who knows me knows I love squats. They're one of my ultimate favorite functional movements. So we're going to spend just a few moments doing squats. So what you're going to do is, from your chair, and you can push it away from your desk area, just like you would imagine. Actually, I will turn this sideways just for a sec so you can see. We are going to just practice tapping the hips slightly up and down. So we're seated in our chair, and from here, and you can do what you like with the hands. I'll demonstrate a few options. We're going to sit down and straighten the legs. And I like to tap the hips and lift. So maybe this isn't your cup of tea. If so, you can finish, or maybe just do one. It's okay. I find that the older I get, the more I am down for stretches in the office. I kind of don't care as much what people think. So we're tapping the hips down on that chair, tapping it down and lifting up. Let's do about 4 more, just to really wake up our quadriceps, wake up our hips. 3, 2, good, and 1. Nice job. These are one of my ultimate favorite functional movements. Let's go ahead and we're going to use our chair for a few stretches in a moment, so keep it handy. We're going to especially use the back. But before we do that, I want you to just take a moment. A couple favorite stretches I have to loosen up the hips when you've been sitting a lot is one that I call windmills. So feel free to do this at your comfort level. Our knees are ever so slightly bent. We can, again, depending on how tight the hips are, let the hips kind of sway side to side as the arms wrap around the body. This doesn't have to be crazy vigorous. I like to add just a little bit of a lean in the hip so that you start to loosen those hips. Your face can remain forward, or if it helps you release tension, perhaps you can let the head go with side to side. So we'll allow our windmills to start to settle. Good. And then one more I really like to do is called hip rotations or hip circles. And you can put your hands on your hips, wherever's comfy for you, and have a bit of fun with this one. So we're just drawing some circles with our hips. And once again, your knees are slightly bent. Just really waking up the joints there, those big ball and socket joints. Biggest joint in the body is right there in those hips. Maybe try a circle the other way. Yep. Just letting the rest of the body relax. Good. All right. Nice job. Okay, guys, let's do a couple stretches now utilizing our chair. So this one is another one that's awesome for the hip. So we're going to use the back of our chair for stability. And then we're basically going to take the leg that's farthest away from the chair. In this case, it would be my right. We're going to cross it over the other foot. Take the right arm, or whichever arm you have, so same arm as leg, cross. Reach over for a side stretch, right? Over to the side. And you can feel free to let that hip lean out slightly. That's why we have our chair for support, so that if we feel a little off balance, we've got this here to protect us, right? Good. And then come up. That stretch is a really hard to stretch and tight area called the IT band. So we can do the same thing to the other side. So I'm going to turn away from you just for a moment. So you can go ahead and find your other side, whatever that means for you. So for me now, that means the leg farthest away is my left. I'm going to cross it in front, reach the left arm, same arm as leg, over, and just let those hips shift away from our chair. Good. Just really getting into the hip. One more stretch here. And when you're ready, you can slowly come up. Good job. Okay, guys, we have just a couple more stretches that we are going to do. So let's go ahead and use our chair once more. So we're going to do some lunges with our chair. So using the back of the chair, and you could also use your desk, you can use your wall even for these. You're just going to hold on to a surface, step one leg back into a lunge. As you can see, my front knee is bent, my back leg is straight, and you should right away feel a great stretch down the back, calf, and hamstring. Yeah, waking up those legs. Good. Now here's one of my ultimate favorites. See if you can start to straighten that front leg, shift the hips back, and come forward. This pose in yoga is called pyramid, and this is just pyramid with a chair. You can always feel free, if you're feeling extra stretchy, to see if you can reach down towards the floor, but never feel like you have to go farther than you need to today. Good. Nice. All right, let's go ahead, bend that front knee, step the leg in, and let's try that on the other side. We'll step back, finding our lunge on this side. One leg may be different than the other. Good. Lunging forward. Take a moment, release any tension in that upper body, and then when you're ready, begin to straighten that front leg. Coming forward for our pyramid on the other side. And just remember to breathe deeply, taking this much needed break. You can come back to any work that you have on your plate feeling more refreshed. Good. And last little stretch. We'll start to come up. Great. And then step it up. Good job. All right, to kind of balance all of that out, all those deep stretches, we're going to step both legs back now. I like to step a little wider than hip width apart, and then just allow the body to come forward. One of the joys of working with a chair or the wall is you can go a little bit deeper into your pose, so you can very gently press the chest down if that feels right for you. It's just an added tool to help us to relax. Yeah, so take one more. And again, if you're feeling like you'd like to, you can always touch the floor at this point, just as you could with some of the other stretches. We leave it up to you. So wherever you're at, just go ahead, finish up. Nice inhale and exhale. And then slowly come up. Good. All right, we've got two last stretches now. One thing I did want to mention that is a really great way to wake up the feet as well is something called calf raises. So I'm going to turn towards you for this so you can see my feet. So you can have your feet right in front, feet together, or perhaps maybe more hip width apart. It's up to you. You can hold on to your chair for support and then just lift up and down onto the toes. So this can help wake up the feet. If I turn sideways, you can see my knees stay relatively straight. This actually fires up our calves and hamstrings as well as wakes up the feet. So it can be a really good way. If you combine this, say, with some squats, you can actually kind of fit in a mini workout right at your desk. So you stand tall, lifting up into those calf raises. You'll start to feel that right away. Good. All right. And so our last stretch we're going to do today is a variation we did earlier with our seated pigeon. You can do pigeon standing as well. So to do that, again, we'll have our one hand on our chair or the wall. And then just like before, we're going to cross our my right ankle over our left knee, which you can do this lower if you like, and then gently sit down. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. There we go. Using your chair for support. Modification, you're down here. This is just a more active version of that seated pigeon pose. Maybe just to test your balance, you can lift a hand off, hand to heart. Good. And then switch, shake out your legs. And we'll try the other side. So crossing whichever ankle you haven't done over the opposite knee. Just start to sit down. Yep. If you'd like, test your balance. Whoop. Yeah. Good job. It's always good to work on balance. Excellent work. All right, guys, coming on up. So these are but a few of standing desk stretches that you can do pretty much any place, anytime. Take care of you. Good for you to focus on your health and wellness. And we will see you next time. Thanks.